Hello everybody, I'm Paul Higgins and welcome to this edition of Business in the OC. We're coming to you from our Safe World's IPTV studios here in Irvine, California. Real happy to have a very distinguished businesswoman on our show today. Wealth of information, traveled the country and the world doing business. It's Camille Jayne, and Camille Jayne is, of course, doing a number of different things. Welcome, Camille. And if you let me for a second, I want to tell people a little bit about you because you've given me some bullet points, but we can expand on those greatly because you've had quite the career. Right now, the founder of Matters at Hand, that's a family service business which we will touch on with wealth management. Of course, Camille, well, she's a Stanford graduate and also went to Michigan to get her master's MBA in marketing, former chairman and CEO of Universal Electronics, which I'm very interested in talking to her about, senior vice president of digital cable TV for telecommunications, and she led the first digital cable TV launch worldwide, and also headed up a number of different companies, including the retail division, corporate advertising at Comerica Bank, in which we're going to be talking about Comerica Bank sometime later this month, and also doing the National Association of Women's Business Owners. So Camille, that just kind of gracefully touches on it. You've done so much. Your love for business, where did it stem from? Was it your mom, your dad, a brother, a sister? How did you get involved in business, and not knee deep, but neck deep?
Well, I think I fell into it. I was a designer first, and on the creative side. And when I think about it, my father was a doctor, a surgeon, but he was an entrepreneur because he didn't work in a hospital. He started his own office. And until I got into business, I didn't realize that my father was indeed an entrepreneur. And I worked in his office ever since I was 13 years old with people. And then my mother, while she was a homemaker and excellent at that, she could rival Martha Stewart in that sense. But she saw a niche in the marketplace when I was young. They didn't have any foreign languages in schools. And she didn't like that. And my family is trilingual, so she said we should have French. So she rallied the community and the school district, and she started a Saturday French school where they had 500 students on Saturday, and she started everything. She hired the professors, the books, the tapes. She was in the newspapers all the time. You have examples like that, and all of a sudden you realize maybe you have something in your genes that you could be successful in business. So
Curious, were you a sports fan in Michigan?
Oh, you have to be. I mean, with the Red Wings, the Pistons, the Lions, the Tigers now, you have to be,
Yeah. Now, you went to Stanford. You chose Stanford over, of course, the school in Michigan, but then you went back to Michigan. Tell me your thoughts about Stanford and the great experiences that you had there.
It was amazing. I kept pinching myself the first semester, thinking they had made a mistake by letting me in. It not only is a beautiful architectural campus, which appealed to me as a designer, but I felt I really wanted to be a doctor. And so their pre-med program, biology, was very important. But what was wonderful about Stanford, very competitive, but because being in California, it had somewhat of a casual atmosphere to it versus the Ivy League. And just the people I met there, we had professors in the undergraduate schools, which is unusual sometimes, so I just loved it there.
You played tennis. Was that intended on when you went to Stanford?
No, in fact, I took tennis as what we called PE, phys ed back then, and the coach really wanted me to try out for the team, and I really didn't want to because I thought I might flunk out, and I was a biology major and pre-med, and that's very scary. But finally, by my sophomore year, I decided I would play. Then I decided to take a double major in design. So then senior year, I didn't play. So,
if you were to look at the big ball, the stuff, all the things that you have done, when you look at maybe the most important aspects of it, because you talked about design, talked about marketing, been a CEO. Can you pick out one thing that if you took that away, the whole ball would crumble?
Yes, I think that the working with the people I've enjoyed the most in terms of helping people reach their dreams, and whether that's your employees, which I think are the most important. I think you have to take care of your employees first, and everything else falls into line. Finding niches in the marketplace that people really have a need and they haven't been met or met superbly is very important to me. And I think that's the main thread throughout all the businesses I've been in, and even as an entrepreneur. It's a wonderful feeling and experience that you're helping people and satisfying a need that can make a huge difference in your life. And when you're doing that in business, it permeates the culture, and then your employees feel the same way, and it's wonderful.
After the break, I want to talk about your involvement in wealth management and how you understand that and how you can help people doing that. But when you look at, I introduced you to some young ladies here today that work with us here at Safe Worlds. Your thoughts about what's the one piece of advice, I got about a minute left in this segment, what's about the one piece of advice you give to them as young ladies that want to seek entrepreneurship or enter a company?
You have to do something you're extremely passionate about, and it really helps if you're good at it, because you can be really passionate, but if you're not good at it, it might not work out. If you're really good at something, but you really don't have the passion, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can underestimate or even overestimate the amount of work and that you really have to do, because you have to do it superbly.
And you have to love it. That's exactly what you said. So
Mm-hmm.
we've got a lot to talk about. We're just scratching the surface. Camille Jayne, when we come back, we're going to talk about matters at hand in wealth management. I'm Paul Higgins. This is Business in the OC.